How many times you went to the cinema or a friend of yours is telling you a bad story, but after you start paying attention to it, it's almost impossible to just stop. Hello, welcome to the Marketing Made Simple podcast. And today we'll have the part 2 of the psychological triggers that I started last week. If you didn't watch or listen, please go back there and have a go. I promise that you will enjoy not only the other triggers, but also the introduction where I talk about how these triggers actually work on us as human beings. Hi, I'm Rudy Galera, a digital transformation expert with over 12 years of experience helping people and companies to thrive on digital marketing. If you are watching this on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, I would like to tell you that you can listen to the audio in one of your favorite podcast platforms. Just search for Marketing Made Simple Rudy Galera and you'll find me. And you can listen while driving, working out, or anything else. But if you're listening to the podcast, I would like to invite you to follow me in any of the platforms that I just mentioned, that I share a lot of rich content every single day. Just search for Rudy Galera and you will find me. So let's get to the final 8 triggers to complete my list of 14. Number 7, story. Stories are in human history since the caveman era, or even before. And this is what distinguishes us from the other mammals, our ability to tell stories and pass them through generations. It's easier to teach something through a story, to explain a situation, to educate your children, to entertain. Pretty much everything is easier when we convert into a story. We tend to pay more attention when there is a story rather than just facts, even if it's a bad story. How many times you went to the cinema or a friend of yours is telling you a bad story, but after you start paying attention to it, it's almost impossible to just stop. Now we want to know what happened. The conclusion of the story. Stories activate most of our sense, bringing life to our imagination. And as stories don't necessarily need to be linked to facts, especially when it's about your brand, it's easier to make people trust and believe in your story. So how to implement this in your marketing strategy? Remember when I talked about the point A to the point B strategy? If you don't, please go back to my previous podcast and you know more about it. But summarizing, the problem that you solve with your company takes the customers from the point A to the point B. And all this journey can be converted into a story rather than just go to the list of benefits of your product or service. You can add emotions and feelings to your communication. So maybe a love story related to the safety of your product, or maybe care for the future of your family when you talk about investments. Or maybe another example, a healthier product that will increase your happiness, or even making you live longer to see your grandchildren growing. So always look at the message you want to communicate to your prospects and think if there is any way to convert into a story, including real characters, emotions, and of course, a happy end. Number 8, social proof. How many times did you buy something just because a friend has it? Or a celebrity that you like was using it? This is because we are a social animal. We like to feel part of a group. We like to feel integrated. We tend to feel more comfortable when we are not different. This happens since we are young in school, where most of us try to feel included in one of the groups that we like, listening to the same musics, wearing similar clothes, using the same brands, and with the same behaviors. Thousands of years back, this trigger was critical for our survival. Imagine you in a community surrounded by wild animals, where you don't fit or don't behave similar to the other members of the community. You could easily get expelled by the group and most probably be eaten by a wild animal. And after all these years, as all psychological triggers are written in our DNA, and we still behave in a similar way, we still like to feel part of a group and to do things that people we like do. So if you know really well your persona, your prospects. You can easily identify things that would trigger this social feeling and celebrities or influencers that they would admire that could talk about your brand. And how to implement this in your marketing strategy. In marketing, you can use this trigger to increase your conversions, showing that someone that fits your prospect's profile bought the product or service you provide and they are happy with it. The well-known testimonials. You don't always need to pay an expensive celebrity for that. Someone that looks like your prospect, not only in appearance, but also age, gender, groups. Basically everything that describes your prospect would be enough to trigger this psychological behavior. Number 9, community. Similar to the social proof, community brings us the same feeling of feeling part of a group, but can be activated in a different way. Have you noticed when you are with your crew, with people that you like, with your friends, the way you behave, your feelings, your state of mind? You're usually happy, excited, talkative, want to share your pains and things that you are proud of. Am I right? And probably if they want to go somewhere or buy something, you would be, yeah, yalla, let's do it. What about the opposite? When you are with people you don't feel comfortable with, or you don't like, or they are part of a different group. You probably feel introverts, you feel shy, you feel almost painful to stay there. So you want to get out of there as quick as you can. Okay, I think you got it. But now, how you can use this in your marketing strategy? Again, understanding your persona really well, you can identify groups and communities they are part of, or even create your own community that they would love to be part of, like sponsoring events, or maybe creating a community of surfers if you have a surfwear brand, or maybe a chef community if you sell products and service to chefs, where they can share ideas, experience, learnings. The sky is the limit. Just think about game community or sports community, how strong they are. So creating or being part of a community like this, sponsoring, supporting, or supplying products or service to them, you will get a few advantages to increase your sales, the conversion of new customers, your brand loyalty, and even good and honest feedback to improve your products and service. Going back to the beginning where I explained how you feel when you are with your friends and with your group, this feeling activates on us many parts of our brain, making you way more open to buy something. And not only buy, but spend more money and be loyal to a brand that is part of it and willing to participate in your brand improvements. The potential of this trigger is huge, and you can see from sports and games communities how much passion is involved. Number 10, make your prospects feel important. This is one of our key human drivers. We always want to feel appreciated, important. Even small gestures of gratitude can change our day. Have you ever felt important when you give a tip to someone and they look back with a big smile thanking you? Or when you help a friend, or at work, or at home? Whenever someone makes you feel special, important, you feel really great about it. Very happy. So how you can activate this feeling to help in your marketing strategy? First part has to do with customer service. And whenever you get in touch with your customer, pay true attention to what they have to say and truly help them with what they need. They will feel valued, and they will probably be willing to stay with you longer and spend more with you. And you can even ask your customers for help, asking them to participate in feedback or testing programs to help you to improve your service. And they will feel so important to contribute to your company that they will be more likely to stay and buy more from you. The second part is loyalty, building a reward program that compensates your customer for buying from you with points or miles that they can use to redeem on prizes, products, discounts. Airlines and credit card companies do it really well. Number 11, Common enemy. Create a common enemy and ally with your customers to fight against them, and they will get excited to buy your products. Going back to the sentiment of community, when you have a common enemy, you create a strong group united with the same objective and behaviors. For example, with COVID-19, where we forget about difference, trying to exterminate the virus, to go back to our normal life. But it doesn't always need to be on a global pandemic scale. It can also be applied in smaller situations, like the traffic to go to work every day that you hate. It can be your laziness or sleepiness that kills your productivity, or fast food or working out that is always in your way of losing weight. So how you can use this trigger to make people buy from you? Again, the point A to the point B strategy. So what is on the way of your customers to get to the point B? That is what your product and service will take them. What are the key pain points? The key challenge that stop them from getting there. Identifying these enemies of your prospects, you can play in your communication that you are very aware of this enemy and your product is the best solution to kill it. So if your enemy is convenience or wasting time to do the grocery, you can be the app that delivers everything they need to their doorstep. Or if your enemy is finding a new job on the internet, you can be the website that puts all the opportunities together. Or if your enemy is a back or neck pain, you can provide a pain relief cream that works right at the source of the pain. Number 12, simplify your offer. Our brain is made to save energy whenever it can, so we try to avoid or automate all complicated things. You probably don't brush your teeth in different ways every day. You might not even know how you do it. You just do it, meaning you spend the minimum energy possible. So imagine if you need to pay attention to what a commercial is trying to say. Or imagine if you need to read carefully an advert to understand what is the solution that they provide and if it works for you or not. I think you already gave up just imagining going through this situation. We tend to think our products and services are self-explanatory. That's very easy to understand. And sometimes we even use lingues and terminologies that's understood only internally. So how you can apply this trigger into your marketing strategy? Try to make the solution you provide as simple as you can, as direct as you can, and especially ask your prospects if they understand and get it straight away. Always think, if you can't explain the solution you provide in one simple sentence, it's already too complicated and you need to rework it. A simple and straightforward message can not only increase your sales, but also your brand awareness. Whenever someone thinks about a specific solution, they will remember immediately your brand for that solution. Number 13, price anchor. Our mind cannot judge a price without a reference to it. We always need to compare it to something that is familiar to us in order to evaluate if the price is low, high, or fair. Creating a price anchor, you can position yourself wherever you want to either sell more or increase your profitability. So how exactly you can do it in your marketing strategy? You can either create internal or external comparison to position yourself the way you desire. For example, you can create a basic product or service, a mid-price, and a premium version, where you can usually increase the number of sales of the mid-price, as people tend to skip the lower price that might compromise in quality, and just go for the mid-price to avoid the premium prices, getting in the end still a decent product. This happens a lot when selling on Amazon. If people don't know you, don't know your brand, you should always set your price mid-range to be on the safe side and never be the lowest price. So if people are selecting a product on Amazon and they see the lowest price, they might think, oh, the quality of this one might be not that good. And the highest price is also outrageous, so they avoid going to the highest price. So they stick to the mid-range price. So if people don't know your brand, don't know exactly the quality that they will get, it's better for you to have a mid-price, avoiding being the cheaper one. The other option is the external comparison, when you compare your solution with alternative solutions, showing that you deliver way more than the alternative for a similar price, or showing that your price is way cheaper if you compare the solution you provide with another alternative. So summarizing, don't let your customers create their own comparisons. Do it first, and you can set your position where you want based on your objectives. To sell more, to have more profitability, or premiumness, etc. Number 14. Scarcity. Not only diamonds can be scarce. Scarcity is a psychological trigger that can be generated. And there are a few tricks you can use to increase your sales or the price of your product. And there are a few tricks you can use to increase your sales or even increase the price of your product. Do you know that doctor that you would need to make an appointment 3 months in advance at any day of the week or any time they want, or they are free, they are available for you, because you know how hard it is to get a time with him or her, and how much would you pay for that appointment? Maybe you wouldn't even ask, depending on the urgency you need. So scarcity is a perception that can be generated with a few techniques so people can see you as scarce and value more for that. So how you can actually implement this in your marketing strategy? This trigger can be created if you show your audience one of the following. Uniqueness, when there is something in your product or service that only you can provide. You can create an exclusive service or an exclusive way of solving your audience problems. Remember, this trigger is more a perception than a fact. So you can use your creativity to ignite this feeling in your audience. Limited quantity, by creating limited editions or launching your products in waves instead of dumping tons of products in the market to create a feeling of missing out and making people hurry to buy from you. Limited time, similar to the limited quantity, but using time, when your product will be available for only a certain period of time. So if you don't get it now, you have to wait for the next time we are open to sale. And last but not least, limited time offer. When you have a special offer like buy now with this special price, and we don't know when you'll be able to buy at this price again. And this can trigger an urgency for action and increase your sales in that period of time. I hope you have enjoyed all 14 triggers discussed here. And if you didn't listen to the previous podcast, I recommend you do that to know the first 6 triggers. Moreover, I hope it wasn't just interesting, but inspires you to start applying all these triggers in your marketing strategy from now on. And if you have any questions on how to implement any of them, feel free to drop me a message and I'll be more than happy to help you. If this content was helpful, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share with at least one person that you think can benefit from this content. That will mean a lot for me.